Imagine walking into a Ferrari dealership with $500,000 in your bank account. You've spent years dreaming about owning one of the world's most iconic cars. You finally have the money. You walk through the doors. And Ferrari tells you no. Not because the car is too expensive, not because it's sold out, but because the company has decided you're not the right customer. It sounds unbelievable. After all, what business turns away people who are ready to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars? Most companies fight for every sale they can get. Ferrari does the exact opposite. And somehow, that decision helped turn Ferrari into one of the most profitable car companies in the world. Every year, companies like Toyota and Volkswagen sell millions of cars. Ferrari sells only a tiny fraction of that. Yet investors value Ferrari higher than many car manufacturers that are 10, 20, or even 50 times larger. So how is that possible? The answer has very little to do with building cars, and everything to do with building desire. Ferrari isn't just selling transportation. They're selling status, identity, exclusivity.
To understand Ferrari, you first have to understand the man who created it. Enzo Ferrari wasn't obsessed with luxury. He wasn't obsessed with road cars. He wasn't even obsessed with making money. His entire life revolved around one thing: winning races. Born in Italy in 1898, Enzo dreamed of becoming a racing driver. After serving in World War I, he eventually joined Alfa Romeo as a racing driver before quickly moving into management. There, he built one of Italy's strongest racing teams and discovered something that would shape the rest of his life. Racing wasn't just a sport. It was an obsession. Every victory brought prestige. Every defeat demanded improvement. In 1929, Enzo founded Scuderia Ferrari, originally as a racing team that prepared Alfa Romeo race cars. At the time, Ferrari didn't even build its own cars. The famous prancing horse already existed, but it represented racing, not luxury. Then, everything changed.
Ferrari didn't become legendary because it built road cars. It became legendary because it won races. From the very beginning, Enzo Ferrari believed that every victory on the track made the Ferrari name more valuable. Racing wasn't a hobby. It was the company's reason for existing. In 1950, Ferrari entered the very first Formula One World Championship. Just 1 year later, Ferrari claimed its first Formula One victory. That was only the beginning. Over the decades, Ferrari became the most successful and most iconic team in Formula One history. With world championships, legendary drivers, and unforgettable rivalries. Ferrari built something no advertisement could ever buy: prestige. Millions of people watched Ferrari compete every single season. They dreamed of owning one, even if they knew they never would. Every race made Ferrari more desirable. Every victory increased its reputation. Every championship strengthened the myth surrounding the brand. Unlike most manufacturers, Ferrari never needed to convince people its cars were special. Formula One had already done that.
Most car manufacturers have one goal: sell as many cars as possible. Ferrari does the exact opposite. Every year, millions of people dream about owning a Ferrari. But Ferrari deliberately builds far fewer cars than the market demands. Not because they can't build more, but because they choose not to. It's one of the oldest rules in economics. When demand is higher than supply, prices rise, desirability increases, and customers begin competing with each other. Ferrari has turned this simple idea into a multi-billion-dollar business model. While companies like Toyota produce more than 10 million cars every year, Ferrari produces only around 14,000. That's less than 0.2% of Toyota's production. Yet Ferrari earns far more profit on every single vehicle it sells. In fact, Ferrari often limits production even when it could easily sell thousands more cars. Why? Because exclusivity is worth more than volume. If everyone could buy a Ferrari, most companies compete for customers. Ferrari does something almost unbelievable. It chooses its customers. Buying a Ferrari isn't always as simple as having enough money. For many of Ferrari's most exclusive models, money alone isn't enough. The company rewards loyal customers, people who have owned several Ferraris, attended Ferrari events, and built a long relationship with the brand, are often the first to receive invitations. Some limited edition Ferraris are never advertised to the public. Instead, Ferrari personally contacts a small group of selected clients. Receiving that phone call has become a status symbol of its own. Even billionaires, celebrities, and successful entrepreneurs have reportedly been denied the opportunity to buy certain Ferrari models. Not because they couldn't afford them, but because Ferrari wanted to protect its image. The goal isn't simply to sell every car. The goal is to make every Ferrari feel special. Every owner becomes part of an exclusive club. And that exclusivity. Ferrari doesn't just sell expensive cars. It sells expensive choices. Every Ferrari begins as a standard model, but very few customers leave it that way. Want a unique paint color? That will cost extra. Carbon fiber mirrors? Extra. Hand-stitched leather? Extra. Personalized seats? Extra. Even the smallest details can add thousands of dollars to the final price. Some buyers spend hundreds of thousands of dollars just on customization. And that's exactly what Ferrari wants. Because customization has incredibly high profit margins. The more personal the car becomes, the more money Ferrari earns. But the business model goes far beyond the cars themselves. Ferrari generates revenue from merchandise, licensing, museums, theme parks, exclusive driving experiences, and brand partnerships around the world. Every part of the Ferrari brand creates value. The company isn't trying to sell the most cars.
It's trying to earn the most profit from every customer. That's why Ferrari consistently achieves profit margins that most car manufacturers can only dream about. Luxury isn't just about price. It's about creating something people believe is worth paying for. And Ferrari has mastered that better than almost anyone.
At first glance, Ferrari shouldn't be winning. Toyota builds more than 10 million vehicles every year. Volkswagen sells millions. Even Porsche produces far more cars than Ferrari. Yet Ferrari consistently ranks among the most valuable and most profitable car companies in the world. How? Because Ferrari isn't competing in the same game. Toyota focuses on efficiency. Volkswagen focuses on scale. Porsche balances performance with higher production. Ferrari focuses on exclusivity. Every decision the company makes protects the value of its brand. That means producing fewer cars, maintaining long waiting lists, and never chasing volume. The result: Ferrari earns dramatically more profit per vehicle than most traditional manufacturers. While other companies fight to increase market share, Ferrari fights to remain rare. It's a strategy that seems completely backwards. But for Ferrari, less has become more. Far more. And that's exactly why Ferrari has become one of the most admired businesses in the world. Because it proves that success isn't always about selling more. Sometimes, success comes from selling less. In 2015, Ferrari became a publicly traded company. For the first time, anyone could own a piece of Ferrari. Not by buying one of its cars, but by buying its stock. Many investors were skeptical. How could a company that sells only around 14,000 cars each year possibly compete with automotive giants? But Ferrari wasn't trying to compete. It was building something completely different. Year after year, the company delivered strong profits, growing revenue, and industry-leading margins. Investors quickly realized Ferrari wasn't just another car manufacturer. It behaved more like a luxury brand. Companies built on exclusivity, pricing power, and loyal customers often receive much higher valuations. Ferrari had all three. As confidence grew, so did the stock price. Since its public listing,